Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Fans TV. It's Jay here, and it's been a while. I feel like I haven't been on the channel in a while. This is the Chelsea Roundup, so if you haven't seen this before, basically we take all the Chelsea news over the past week and we talk about it. Before we get into today's video, can you please make sure you like this video? Can you please make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV? And while you're at it, subscribe to me at the back post here on YouTube. But yeah, let's get into it. So, first of all, we've got to talk about last night's performance. Krasnodar. Oh, I added a bit of spice to that, didn't I? Krasnodar. But yeah, we won 4-0. Absolutely smashed it. Buzzing with that result. If we're going to talk about the full game, that first half was dead. A lot of people were very bored. The football just didn't seem to start clicking right away. And also, Krasnodar was their first Champions League game ever, I think. So, you know, they really came at it. They weren't sitting down, so they threatened quite early on. I remember, I think it was 5 minutes in, they did actually threaten us. So it wasn't the start that we all thought it was going to be. They definitely pressed us a little bit, and we didn't panic, but the play wasn't as crisp as it should be. So bit of build-up play, so key passes just kept flopping, and the passing was a bit poor. And that was for the first 30 minutes, I'd say. It didn't just kind of click. It took a minute to click. But then, of course, Callum Hudson-Odoi got his goal, which was a nice bit of play. And then from there, we kind of, that was it. The confidence was gained after that goal. And then in the second half, we came alive. We came alive, and it's almost like we need the confidence of a goal to become that team. And maybe that's something we need to get out of our game. We need to, play with confidence right from the start, but nonetheless we came out. Jorginho obviously missed his pen, but we came out, and Werner and Havertz definitely woke up in that second half because they were a bit missing in the first. Again, these players are bedding into the team, and it also looks like they're very much confident players, so they need a run of games to maybe use that. But yeah, in that second half, passing was much better. I remember, we've got the talent up front. Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, all these boys up front going forward. Jorginho included, Kovacic played as well. These lads are technically very gifted, and we can use that to our advantage. We need to pass it quicker, and I think Frank wants this. I think sometimes it just doesn't come through, but I think if we just pass it a little bit quick, get it up the field and intricate passes it between each other. We see glimpses of that throughout a game, and when we do see that, it pays off almost every time. So I think that's something we need to work on. But to be fair, this game was a perfect game to work on that. So once we got the goal and got the confidence, we let loose then, and we just went for it. So I was absolutely happy with that. And a game like Krasnodar was good for that confidence, and good to get goals in, because that's something we've lacked over the past 2 games. It was a good job to get goals. But yeah, like I said, Havertz, Werner came into it. I'm quite happy with the subs Lampard made. I think Lampard had great game management this game. He brought on Tammy, Mount, Pulisic, Kante, all these lads. They brought and injected a lot of energy into the game. So they come on 60 minutes in, and they injected a lot of pace, a lot of energy, and we just started running at them, especially Mason. That's what he's good at. He's a workhorse, isn't he? So he kind of ran at them, really troubled them, and that's where some of the goals came from. We started winning it in that midfield, and I've said this before, but I think our midfield has let us down recently. We lose it in midfield, then that puts pressure on the defence, and that's kind of caused us a lot of problems. So if we're the ones winning in midfield, or if we're the ones that are commanding that midfield, we're going to be winning games easily. But interestingly, that midfield conversation, I think, came, we started really dominating it once Frank made his subs, and also he changed the game. He changed the formation to a 4-3-3. Now everyone said this, everyone's buzzing with this, because ultimately maybe 4-3-3 is better than 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 was kind of invented in this squad to get the best out of Havertz and maybe Werner as well, although he can work in a 4-3-3. But yeah, so I think 4-3-3 kind of works much better for the squad as a whole, opposed to just Havertz, and maybe he needs to adapt to that formation, because blatantly yesterday, once we switched to it, we were a better team, we were more confident, we went forward and we absolutely smashed it. So going forward, I think that's definitely something we need to try. But this is the thing, isn't it? With the no pre-season, the fact that there's hardly any training in between games, it's hard to try these things other than trying them in matches, and that's obviously not a great place to try out things, is it? So that's the struggle. But we won 4-0, and I think that was the result a lot of us expected, but maybe it came later than we expected. But and someone I haven't mentioned, there's 2 players I haven't mentioned yet, and that's because I wanted to speak about them now. Hakim Ziyech had a class game all game. He just looked threatening. He got, whenever he got the ball, he was turning and he was going, and that's what we want to see. You know, the players sometimes, you know, keeping possession, working it around the box, and that kind of like very boring, whip it around the box, that sometimes works. But Ziyech brought that dynamic kind of just spin, run, look for that pass. He's got an incredible left foot on him, and that game, he started the game and he was class, and he got a goal, he deserved the goal. Really happy to see him. Maybe my man of the match, I'd say. I'm sure people will agree with me. And also the other guy that needs mentioning, Mendying, Big Eddie Mendy. Mendy are honestly could be one of the best signings this summer, because although we've brought in a lot of attacking talent, the problems was in the goalkeeping area, and we've went and got a goalkeeper, and by the looks of it, a very competent one. He's kept 3 clean sheets in a row now. That's incredible. And against two Champions League games, Sevilla, Manchester United, and now Krasnodar. That's 3 clean sheets. That's incredible, I think. So he needs a big shout out. Absolutely love what he's brought to the team. And just quickly before we wrap this up, we've got to look at the Champions League table now. So basically we sit top, nice and pretty at the top with the 4 goal difference. We're level on points with Sevilla because they won last night, 1-0 against Rennes, but the goal difference is what's helping us out here. And to be fair, with a team like Krasnodar in the group, it's good to get a lot of goals in if we can, because that will then, you know, help us out in the long run. And overall, yeah, we kept a clean sheet. We scored. That, you know, the balance is kind of coming ever so slowly into this squad, and nothing but good signs for me. I'm absolutely buzzing with that game. I think I've spoke about it enough now. Let's move on. So the other thing I wanted to talk about in today's video is the upcoming games. So basically, I don't want to talk about the next game. I want to talk about the next bunch of games, because we have a great run of our hands, and this could be a pivotal moment in our season, I believe, because we've got some winnable games. I hate saying stuff like this. I hate having to say, oh, these are going to be winnable games, and hopefully we don't lose them. But yeah, if we take a look at it, Burnley on the weekend, we all saw what Burnley did to Spurs recently, and if it wasn't for Harry Kane, they wouldn't have won that game. Bars. Because, you know, he cleared it off the line and then set up Son's goal again, and we just saw Burnley doing a Burnley, and that's what they do. They are a horrible team to play against, so we definitely got to be careful going into this. But I believe with the confidence that we now have after that Krasnodar game, we go into this game with our heads held high, the defence solid. Thiago Silva will probably come back into the fold as well. And yeah, I can't see us, you know, losing here. I think this is going to be a good game. Great game to have after such a big win, like a great game to come back in, and like we need to bring that form into the league now. We need to bring that balance. We've got the clean sheets but under our belt now, which is absolutely class. Now we need to get the balance of the attacking threat too, so bring that in. And I mentioned all the runs because they're all winnable games. I hate to say it, but I'm saying it. So after Burnley, we got Rennes. Rennes struggling in the Champions League. They're absolutely smashing it in their league, though. They are third. But in the Champions League right now, they lost to Sevilla. They drew to Krasnodar. They are struggling, and that's something to capitalise on, because I don't think Rennes are a bad team, but we should be beating them. Then back to the Premier League, we have Sheffield. Again, team struggling. They're not the team they were last season. They are very much struggling, and we can utilise that and pick up some more points, because we need to start catching up now. We're getting to a point in the league now where we need to start catching up with what was happening before. Then there's a stupid international break again, where they come into round too fast. I know that isn't here yet, but there's too many right now. I don't know what's going on. And then after that, it's Newcastle and Rennes again. So basically, the run we have now, leading up to the Spurs game, which is after that second Rennes game, we have a lot of winnable games, and we need to be utilising that, because we've had a slowish start to the season. It's not been a shit start, but it's been a slow one, and that's because of the pre-season. But every other team's in that boat, so we've got to fight against every other team in this same position. So these run of games could be pivotal for our season. If we pick up a bunch of wins here, it sets us up nicely coming into the latter part of the season. But yeah, that's it from me. I just wanted to quickly talk about them future games, have my say about that Krasnodar game. Like I said, Burnley on the weekend, so make sure you tune back into Blues Fans. We'll bring you a preview to that, we'll do a watch along, and we'll do a live phone in. That's what we do for every single game, so make sure you subscribe to see that. Make sure you like this video, and also please make sure you check me out on YouTube at The Back Post on YouTube. We do football content, I do my own previews, and we do our own fan cams over there, so check us out. We'd really appreciate it. And like I said, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you later.